Hello everyone, today I'm going to be taking a look at the new Ambush Starter Set for the Nightstalkers from Mantic Games Kings of War. Alright, the Nightstalker Ambush Set for Kings of War. It's a chunky box, and inside this you will find a set of Tormentors slash Reapers and a set of Butchers slash Ravagers, plus their bases, a mini quick start rule and a guide therein. So, okay, we have a bag. Let's start with the bag. It contains three sets of 3mm MDF bases. Based on that, I would say that's 40 by 100, and they are 120 by 40. So that's your Butcher set, and that's your Reaper set of bases. We have the assembly instructions. So, fairly self-explanatory. Your Reaper gets arms and legs, and then a choice of head and arms. Butchers, same, arms, head, and some various weapons. Now, they do say Reaper and Butcher here, so let me see. To start your Kings of War journey by assembling a troop of Reapers, 10 models on the smaller base, and 2 regiments of Butchers, which is 3 models on each of the larger bases. Here's a simple guide to assemble, blah blah blah. You can go to the app for more information, and then here we have the unit profiles for those, along with the special rules unique to these. Okay, so 250, 375 points for the suggested build here. We shall see how that goes. You also get a 27-page little A5 quick start book explaining everything about Kings of War, how the game plays, what terrain is, and is that us? Individuals. A learning battle scenario. And then QR code to take you to the app. The app contains both lists plus the full rules. You can get it for free. There are paid versions that allow you to do things like save unlimited amount of lists and stuff. But there you go. That's quite cute. Now, the fun stuff. We have two sets of Butchers and 2 sets of Reapers slash Ravagers. And these are the new hard plastic figures. So, what can we see? Well, right off the bat, I can see some stone pillars and little obelisk. Everything is numbered, which is nice. So, as far as I'm aware, when you build based on letters of the alphabet. So the body A1 will go with the legs marked A. So we have body A1 here. We have A9 leg here. A10 is a head. Where are other A's? Elsewhere. Or there's a couple of A4. Two of the little back stabby bits are way up here. A3, A4. So you may have a bit of looking around on the sprues to find everything. But it is nice they're all numbered. Now, I know on the instruction leaflet, which I have cleverly put somewhere, I don't know where I've put it. On the instruction leaflet it says that these arms and these heads are optional. The way it looks to me, and I think probably to a lot of the Kings of War community, the Tormentors are a new unit. So the old Reapers had the eyeless face, and then these 3 fingered hands, as well as their rippy claws. And then the new Tormentors have got a hinged split jaw, like a snake. It splits in the center and also hinges up and down. Plus these stabby claws, a bit more feral, a bit more bouncy. It's entirely up to you though, because when you build them, you can just go, well, they're going to be Tormentors, they're going to be Reapers, as long as you're not changing different things or having the same thing being 2 different units in your army. Same with the Butcher. This is the new ranged variant, sort of vomit-spitting hand cannon for the Ravager. So the Butchers are melee unit. So even though these are options, the options make 2 different units. So that could have been a little bit clearer. Again, because you can mix them, match them when you're building stuff, it may be a case of it's not going to be a major issue for older players, but new players may end up building something and then down the line decide that really I wanted to have the ranged or I didn't want to have the ranged. Our 3 Butchers, again, have these little stone pillars and bits of base dressing, which is nice, because the whole point of Kings of War is you can use those multi-bases, so having base dressing on the sprue is nice as an option. We again have them all numbered. We have 3 bodies, each will require a leg, a head, and then choices of arms. Arm wise we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rippy type arms. Presumably some of those, some will be left. So all of them will have the same melee left hands, and it'll just be the right arms, which will either be these vomit cannons or another melee. Nice level of detail on them. Can't see any massive seam lines or flash. I will say there's a couple of very big sprue gates here. So it's narrow, but it's deep. Can you see that? Just there. So you'll probably want to clip that off in 2 sections. Clip it further away and then trim down. Oh, that's another beast of a sprue gate there. I suppose it helps them cast it, but will require a bit of clippery. Right. Let's get some of these built and see exactly how they look. All right, I'm back. They are built. And first up we have are the Butchers. As you can see, they fill the base. So nice models. Options are limited. You are pretty much building whatever way they come out of the taps. They stand around about 45mm to where their eyes should be, if they had any. Because of the flat limbs, or the flat joins with the limbs, so the shoulder to torso, you're limited into where you can position arms and the like. There's a bit of posability in there, but not a huge amount. However, they still look absolutely fantastic. So that's the Butcher variant. If I just bring in the Ravagers with their Void Cannons. So in this one, I actually swapped the heads round onto different bodies to see if they would fit. They do, so it's fine. You can do that, which gives you a bit more variation in there. Obviously, with 3 bodies and 3 heads, you've got a bit to play around with. But again, beautiful models. Really love the new plastic. Cleanup wasn't too bad. Getting through those sprue gates on the torsos was the hardest part. Use old clippers, clip twice, once far away and then move closer in, and then you can do your final cleanup. But otherwise, they are a cracking set of sculpts, and also very good on the tabletop. Then we have the Reapers. So these are not on the right base, and you'll see why in a second. The Reapers are at tallest around 35mm to where their eyes should be for the 2 that stand up. So you've got 2 standing and 3 sort of creeping on each sprue. Now this is something for Kings of War players specifically. If you're after creepy things, these are great. If you're a Kings of War player, you'll already know this. This base should have 10 models on it. As you can see, there's less than 10. In fact, this base is too big because I borrowed one of my spare Reaper bases. So it should actually be shorter by about that much. So everything is very compact, which means even though it says you should have 10 on the base, you can go with less as long as the base looks sort of full, looks good. And then with these little extra basing options now, it means that that unit of 10, that troop, theoretically, of Reapers or Ravagers can make both a set of Reapers and, a set of Tormentors and Reapers. And here we have the Tormentors. On the actual size base, you can see just how, spiky and interlinked they are. Series of stems interlinked. So I think it's just a really, really nice set of miniatures. Legs did have keys on them to the hips. However, I found those a little soft. So there's a bit of wiggle room when you're putting them together. So make sure you have both legs on at the same time while the glue is still drying so that you can get the final set down pieces. You'll see the ends of their stabby claws end in little sort of dirt and rock clusters so that you can glue them to the base. Make sure those are both still movable and make them flat. And then once they're down and flat, then you'll know that you're correctly aligned. Otherwise, the arms and heads are all posable. And then the sort of the back wingets, it doesn't say which way round they go. So I just picked away, which means you've got a bit of variation as well, because I checked and most of them will go on to either. In fact, all of them will go on to either shoulder. So if you want to go for something a little bit different, you can start playing around with those. I know somebody's been putting them on back to front to make some sort of weird gargoyle-like creatures with tiny ripped wings. But it makes this ambush box tremendously good value, because not only do you get the 2 regiments of Butcher/Ravagers, but that troop becomes 2 troops. All you have to do is supply your own base for the second unit. And that pushes it up to a 500-point ambush force for Kings of War, which is, pretty much what you want when you're starting. There, right off the bat, you've got 4 units that you can be putting down to play. So yeah, tremendously good value. I really like the addition of the little base toppers and scenery. It's a really nice touch, and with something like this where you're going to be filling the bases anyway, it just helps you link the army together, and there are so many of them. I think that's one sprue and a bit's worth. Yeah, I've used one sprue's worth plus a second one of these stone pillars, which means I've got the same again from the other 3 sprues that I can sort of throw around and make the units coherent and the army cohesive. But yeah, cracking stuff from Mantic. Really like the new plastics. So there we have it. Theoretically, 2 regiments and a troop. However, as you can see, those 2 regiments and troop can easily become 2 regiments and 2 troops, or 3 regiments, depending on how you want to set them up. New plastics, excellent. Well, let's say very, very good. I will say that the 1 or 2 little niggles, like the joints on the legs, the hips being a little soft, so you have to be wary of that when you're locking them together. And because of the flat joints on the arms of the butcher slash ravagers, means you're a little limited in posability there. But for the price, exceptional value. If you're getting into Kings of War, these ambush starter sets are great. This one in particular is absolute mustard. Definitely should be getting on board with that, especially when you look at things like the tormentors leaping around the place, like little mini flyers, bouncing from hill to hill into your opponent and then ripping their face off. It's great. Let me know what you think of the ambush starter set, and if you're playing Kings of War already, you should definitely take a look at the Nightstalkers. I see great things in their future. But for now, that's all. Bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.